So not long ago, I got kidnapped and flown across the world to the land of cheap furniture and PewDiePie, all to hang out with some other content creators like this annoying guy right here. You might know him. We all got flown out to be shown this secret game, and let me tell you, wow. Like, the game was so much fun. It's like, I'm already saying too much. Of course, I can't tell you what the secret game is, but the title isn't clickbait. It's a secret game, for crying out loud, which means I can't talk about it yet, obviously. Like, did you really think I was gonna tell you what the secret was? Of course not, because then it wouldn't be a secret anymore. Oh, it wasn't actually just one secret title, but actually 2 secret games coming out this year and next year, and I can't talk about either of them. Now, before you click off this video, there was one secret game that I can tell you about, but it's only a secret because it's one of the coolest games that I've ever seen, and literally nobody is talking about it. Like, this game is literally one of VR's best kept secrets because not only is it coming out this year, it's actually already available on App Lab. Though of course the App Lab game is more like a demo compared to what I tried, and the full experience is just way better. So before I keep edging you along, what game am I talking about? I want you to imagine for a second Halo mixed with a tower defense game, but also 2005 Star Wars Battlefront, and just a little bit of Half-Life sprinkled in there just for fun. That is Guardians Frontline, and I'm telling you, this is my most anticipated game for 2023 right now. Now, when I say it's Halo mixed with Star Wars Battlefront, I mean it. Everything from pilotable mechs and ships all the way to the Galactic Conquest mode. Like, just the other day, I saw Hades saying this:
I will see you again on Galactic Conquest, the greatest game mode that for some reason nobody has ever remade.
And then I go play this game and discover that it literally has a Galactic Conquest mode. I wish I could show you the Galactic Conquest mode, but my stupid self didn't hit the record button while I was looking at it, so instead you get to see this clip of me attempting to jetpack and ski down a mountain.
Again.
Outside of Galactic Conquest, they also have co-op, PvP, and a map editor. The co-op follows a more traditional tower defense style of gameplay where you're defending certain areas from a variety of alien species attacking you. To help you defend the sites, you can spawn in all kinds of equipment from battle droids to turrets, and like I said before, drivable mechs and ships. And as much as I love the Star Wars mods for contractors, the one thing they're missing to really make it feel like Battlefront is the drivable vehicles. And Guardian Frontlines has that all built into the game already. But wait, there's more. When you're playing the PvP modes, you still have access to the buy menu, and you can still purchase ships, turrets, droids, whatever to help you and your team defeat your enemies, even in PvP. Like, I'm sitting here imagining this, getting PTSD from spending hours at Halo LAN parties just trying to run each other over with ghosts. Not to mention the flamethrower, the gravity gun from Half-Life, and a lightsaber that can also be an energy sword. Like, I don't know whose idea it was to have the Halo energy sword and a Star Wars lightsaber mixed into one weapon, but I was so mesmerized by this design choice that I literally sat there just switching back and forth between the energy sword and the lightsaber. Like, I was switching it back and forth so much that the devs literally got annoyed with me for not moving on to the next thing they wanted to show me.
Come here and select a new mission.
But the piece de resistance of this game is the map editor. The way you know a map editor is good is if the developers themselves use it, and as it turns out, every official map in this game was made using the map editor. That is how good it is. Creating a map in this game is a collaborative experience where you and your friends are in a server together, in VR, literally moving around pieces of the map like Lego blocks. You can adjust everything from the skybox to the background music. You can even sculpt the terrain to make it higher or lower, and there's over 1,000 objects that you can spawn into the map. All of this together means that Guardians Frontline is going to be an amazing game. Literally, my only complaint was the janky jetpack mechanics, but I'm sure they're going to figure that out soon. Outside of Guardians, I also got to try a new version of Cities VR made specifically for PlayStation VR 2. Now, Cities VR is an awesome game. I've never played it before, and I had a blast trying it out, and I'm probably gonna go play some more of it now, so I highly recommend it. But beyond just trying the game, I got a hands-on look at PlayStation VR 2. And while I didn't have enough time to really review the headset, here's some initial thoughts if you're thinking about getting the headset. PlayStation VR 2 is insanely comfortable. Like, I'm very picky when it comes to headsets. I absolutely hate the Halo design that the old PlayStation headset has. And like, I'm gonna be honest, the Quest Pro design that puts all the pressure and weight on your forehead, I hate it. But PlayStation VR 2 is so light that when it puts all of the weight on your forehead, you don't even feel it. It's like it's not even there, which is such a refreshing experience coming from Quest 2 as my main headset. As far as the actual resolution and visuals, I didn't feel like it was a massive upgrade over the Quest 2, which only has a slightly lower resolution, so that kind of makes sense. But the OLED displays did feel a little bit more vibrant than the Quest 2. The biggest issue with the Quest 2's LCD displays is that the blacks look more gray than black. And from what I saw, that wasn't an issue with PlayStation VR 2, which means that PlayStation VR 2 is going to be a much better way to play games with darker environments. As for the controllers, honestly, the design felt a little weird to me, but they work. I was originally worried about the button choice for the grip button, which is more like the Vive ones than the Quest 2 grip buttons, but honestly, it didn't bother me while playing, and the controllers don't look like a massive vibrator anymore, so that's a plus. I was interested in trying the adaptive triggers, but Cities VR didn't really make use of that, at least not the experience that I tried, so I don't know how it's going to compare to the regular PlayStation 5 controllers, or what that means for playing in VR, but I imagine those adaptive triggers are just going to add so much more immersion to the experience. Overall, it's an awesome headset, and with games like Cities VR releasing with it, it's an easy choice to get one if you're just now getting into VR and already own a PlayStation 5. While I was there, I also got to try a few other games that are worth mentioning. Everslot Invasion is a wave-based shooter with a grappling hook. I recently have tried quite a few games with grappling hooks, and I definitely want to see more games using this mechanic in the future, because in games like Everslot Invasion, it's just so much fun. Everslot's releasing in early 2023 for the Quest and Vive port. We Are One is another game that has probably the coolest puzzle concept that I've ever seen, and it's only possible in VR. In each level, you have to defeat the enemies, but it's only possible by playing cooperatively with yourself. That's right, you play with yourself. Not like that. The way it works is you select a fixed point on the map and then you perform some actions from there. Then you start the level over, moving to a different point on the map to perform some other actions, while the previous version of you is replaying what you just did at the same exact time. It's a mind-bending concept that everyone should try at least once. There's a demo for it on App Lab if you want to go check it out, and it's releasing on Quest and Steam in May. And lastly, Game VR Room is a platform for playing flat screen games in a room with friends. So imagine big screen, but instead of watching movies, you're playing games with your friends. The coolest thing about it though is that you can set up different types of actions and buttons in the VR world to emulate actions in the game. So imagine swinging a sword in VR to then swing a sword in a flat game. Beyond just providing opportunities for those with accessibility needs, it also has the potential to make all flat screen games feel like Wii games with simple movement gestures, which, you know, is pretty awesome. Game VR Room is actually available now on Steam in early access if you want to check it out. So before you click off this video, while I was in Sweden, I recorded a lot of footage of the whole entire trip hanging out with Get Hip and other creators. So to not put that footage to waste, here's a generic travel vlog montage to close out the video.